All right, here we go. Director's Take Season 16 on the horizon. Hey everyone, this is Alec Dawson, Associate Game Director for Overwatch 2, with a look at some of the many great changes coming in Season 16. Said Sojourner gets unlimited ammo. I wouldn't doubt it. The team has been working hard to perfect new additions like perks, like the perk system and our next hero Freya, while balancing classic favorites like 6v6 competitive, open queue. Tons of information about our new game mode, Stadium, will be heading your way next week. Hope you're all as excited as I am, so let's dive in. Alex, awesome. Here we go. Perk perfection. The introduction of perks last season added a new layer of gameplay and strategy to Overwatch 2, and players are still brainstorming the best choices for their favorite heroes and personal playstyles. The previous Director's Take recapped our AMA about perks. Thanks for all the great questions. And many perks were tuned up in the mid-season balance patch. Still wish D.Va's perks were better, but the shield one's great, but the other three are okay. Players have given us great feedback, and the team is continuing to refine the perk system. Certain perks are big hits, like Ana's Shrike, more pop, known as Double Nano, and Bastion's Lindholm Explosives, which give explosive shells. I'm actually surprised in that one. See, I don't see a ton of Bastion, and but I know that's strong. So yeah, I'm not surprised to see both of those are like must picks. These are impactful and transformative perks that enable meaningful change in your gameplay. Making sure perks for every hero tick those boxes is a big priority for us, and we're confident changes in 16 and beyond are pointing us in the right direction, which is good. One of our biggest philosophies when designing and improving perks is the idea that there's never a wrong choice. You should never feel like picking a perk is a universal poor option. Maps, team compositions, enemy heroes, and personal playstyle should all influence your decisions. But one perk shouldn't be the default go-to in every situation. Heroes that come to mind here are like D.Va's minor perks. I could hit that accidentally every single time and be like, it doesn't matter, right? But on the flip side, and then Cassidy, for example, again, feels like there's a lack of some perks that you would want to go. So some heroes have done a really good job, like Ana, of having a bunch of perks that you like and you can choose, and it changes your playstyle. You can go be a headshot Ana, you can nano yourself, you can double grenade, you can slow. It's a really good rotation of perks, so hopefully they can one day get to that. For every hero, that is. How exactly do we make sure we're hitting those goals? We look at a combination of what we're seeing in the data, like pick rate gaps. Side note, recently, if you haven't seen this, in China for Overwatch, they recently put up all of the stats. I hope that in the NA region, EMEA, etc., like Korea, like that they start to do the same. I think showing those pick rates can allow for us to understand a little bit more of why things get buffed and nerfed based off of each rank. Because sometimes people be like, why are they buffing this? Why are they nerfing that, right? And in reality, when you have that data on the field, right? When you see that data, it makes more sense. But like, we only can guess why changes happen. So why not post that stuff? Like, just post it. Like, just show us the pick rates. Show us, like, show all that stuff. I think people would love to see that. There are people who just love to see that stuff, including myself. So it would be a nice addition. Where do you see that? It's on a website somewhere. You'd have to, like, translate it, too, and everything. But, yeah. If we, anyway. And the amount of influence perks have in moment-to-moment gameplay. If we feel a hero has a less impactful perk set overall, we also wanted to offer them new options. There's also constant iteration going on behind the scenes to dream up bigger and better options for future seasons, which I love to hear. Adding new perks is definitely the way to do it. Because you can not only change the gameplay, but it just is an exciting addition to the game. A good example for Season 16 is Sombra's updated perk kit. Stack Overflow, while impactful, doubled down on things Sombra was already good at, rather than bring in transformative gameplay, so creating different playstyles. It'll be replaced with a new major perk called Viral Replication, which allows her virus to spread to nearby enemies and will enable bolder team dives. Ooh, oh boy. So, like, we don't know all the details, but, like, that seems like it could be really good. But, let me give you a flip side here, chat. And, before we go, like, holy crap, what the heck, etc., hero bans exist next season. If this becomes overpowered, ban Sombra. Straight up. If this becomes ridiculous, that is where hero bans are going to be strong, being like, we don't want to play against this. Honestly, like, the truth is, like, it could be okay. On paper, it looks like it's going to be unreal, but the point I'm making here is, like, you can just ban Sombra if for some reason this becomes an issue, right? So, yeah, but In ranked, now keep in mind, I can't speak for quick play and things like that. Quick play doesn't have that, so that's a different story. But anyway, again, I try not to overreact to some of the stuff that I see because, like, I don't know if it's going to be good or bad. I see that, I go, uh-oh. But then I also go, maybe it's okay, right? Mercy's previous minor perk, Angelic Recovery, felt passive. So we wanted to add something more active that brings strategy into the mix. Enter Angelic Resurrection, which gives 100 overhealth upon cast and resurrect. Oh, like for the Mercy. Players will have to judge if the risk of saving a teammate behind enemy lines is worth the reward of enhanced survivability. So there you go. So Mercy will get 100 extra HP when cast and resurrect. So res should be easier to get off now. Even better. So when I get res in the back line and I finish the game with 18 deaths, we'll know why. Okay. Our newest support, Juno, will receive a new major perk that enables a more aggressive playstyle. Locked On gives a lower cooldown for pulsar torpedoes for every enemy hit, encouraging more active gameplay. I like that. I think that's a good one. While Reboots performed better after a recent adjustment, it'll replace the less picked Hyper Boost as a minor perk. Okay. So kind of moving some perks around, giving some more power into like Juno's pulsar torpedoes. It could be good. Could be good. While we try not to nerf perks too often, some options clearly need tuning heading into Season 16. Sorry, Triple Blink Tracer fans. We think there's a good bar for the impact perks can have, but some may have gone a bit past that line and need to be dialed back. Hey, at least they didn't announce Sojourn buffs. I've obviously been playing Tracer more. I will say the Blink one was pretty unreal, and I can see why they would get rid of that, because, like, Tracer could basically have endless amount of blinks if done correctly, and I think they wanted to get rid of that. So I don't think they'll probably just make it like 2 blinks or something. But anyway, players have also responded well to perks that bring back old components of a hero's kit, like Orissa's Protective Barrier and Hanzo's Scatter Arrow. We can't give away all the changes here, but another classic will be reintroduced in a different... Oh no, I know what this is. It says less overwhelming way. As a major perk for a certain icy DPS hero. Chat, they're buffing Widowmaker. They're giving Widowmaker a second grab. No, yeah, they're bringing Freeze back. Wonderful. I love that. I love that. As a tank player, I am so excited to hear that I'm going to be frozen again. Sounds like it won't be as ridiculous. I'll give it time. That's what it sounds like. I don't know if that's the case, but what else would they bring back with May? That's it, right? I'll give my take on this. As a tank player, I will give it time to see if it feels terrible to play against. I don't know. Could be fine. They did say in a different, less overwhelming way. So maybe it's you need a combo with something, right? Like you have to like hit like 5 right clicks in a row or something, or 3 right clicks in a row. Kind of like, what they've done with like Lifeweaver. You know what I mean? Like there's probably a different way to like free somebody now. That's my guess. I could be completely wrong. But like that would kind of like align with what we've seen with like Lifeweaver or like even Ramatra, where you get like the extra stuff. So we'll see. Again, as a tank player, I hear that and go, uh-oh, but I also feel like I want to see what it is because I'm not getting as much details on what that perk actually does. So I would have just let off of that one. Okay, anyway. On the Wind with Freya. A few weekends ago, Freya swooped in for her hero trial. Her high skill ceiling and swift movement abilities ended up being a big hit with our players. Her trial numbers were comparable to Venture's popular test weekend. Okay. If she hasn't wrapped you up with her bowler shot just yet, you'll have a chance to dive in once Season 16 launches. Though we don't balance around quick play data, it gives us valuable information about new heroes during their trials. Freya was a bit lower on the win rate side throughout her test weekend. Although I feel like aren't players just going to not be good at Freya? Like, regardless? So, like, it's just going to take a while for players to get good at them. So, approximately 43% is what the win rate was. And will be receiving a few light buffs before her debut. Oh, wonderful. Despite her explosive damage, Freya occasionally struggled to secure kills. So, we've improved the reliability of her kit to finish the job. Her Rev Draw crossbow will now shoot 12 shots before max spread, increased from its original 8. That's probably fine. Bowl shot over damage over time is now increased as well as its max radius, giving her ultimate more oomph. I don't know. I'll be real with you. I already forgot how to play Freya, so we'll see. You'll also see some quality of life changes, like the option to bind her quick dash to a double jump input. Overall, we want Freya to be in a comfortable place on launch. Knowing players will get better with her kit over time, and we're really happy with where she is now. You haven't played Freya, by the way? Freya's a pretty fun hero. I will say, the better I got at Freya, the more enjoyable the hero became. You're like, that's obvious. Any hero's like that. But the point I'm making is that once you realize you can do these like really cool like freezes in the middle of the air and like go for these really, really, really cool plays, that's what I mean, right? Like it took me a while to understand the kit, but once I did, that hero is going to be really fun. Like really, really fun to play. Granted, I don't know how the buffs will do, but I think Freya will be fun. You'll also see some quality of life changes, like the option to bind her quick dash to a double jump input. Okay, speaking of that, I would love it. Go back to perks. Hear me out, chat. I'm not a fan of Stim Pack, right? But what if they put Stim Pack on another button? So that way you're not like hecking up your healing station and then you Stim Pack. Because you can't healing station and Stim Pack anyway. You're going to be purple, right? So like, why not just add that to another button? So that way if you do Stim Pack, you at least can use it separately, right? There's no point. Like, I just don't think you should have a Soldier 76 turn into like that decision that Moira has with your orbs, right? I feel like it should be like you have a button to hit your Stim Pack, and then you have your healing station, and they really won't coincide with each other, and it also brings more power to that kit. So, console. Fair enough. I see what you're saying, because console doesn't have as many buttons. You bring up a valid point. I don't know. Is there enough buttons for another button? Okay, question. For people on console, the Hanzo thing. No, was it Han? Who got the extra button for April Fools? Didn't a hero on console get an extra button? Anyway, random thought, but that makes sense. It was Hanzo, so did that work on console? But he doesn't use reload. Makes sense. Good call. See? This is why we talk to chat and walk through the whole thing. You're right, because then you can't reload. I get you. That makes sense. So yeah, that's where Stim Pack would be. Okay, good. You know what we learned? I see. That's what's fun about that is I have no problem learning as to why that would be an issue there. Okay, never mind. Just redo Stim Pack. Okay. Overall, we want Freya to be comfortable in a comfortable place on launch. Knowing players will get better with their kit over. Okay, we already did that. Ooh, 6v6 thriving. Now, somebody earlier came in chat and said they believe that 6v6 is the most popular mode right now, and that 5v5 wasn't anymore. So we'll see what they say here. The hottest topic over the past few months has been the return of 6v6 game modes, and it's clear that many of you are passionate about the option to dive in with a bonus player. Good news for 6v6 enthusiasts, we will be continuing to run open queue with a 2-tank limit in both quick play and comp throughout Season 16. So there you go. If you're a 6v6 enjoyer, you have fun, you will still have it going into the next season. Competitive 6v6 open queue was the third most popular mode in Overwatch 2 during Season 15 according to time played, until it was usurped by the totally normal watch April Fool's mode. Googly eyes may reign supreme, but 6v6 modes are holding their own, as are standard 5v5 comps. On average, there's a 3-to-1 ratio of players choosing competitive 5v5 over 6v6 respectively, but the 6v6 population has remained steady. So, to the person saying that they thought that 6v6 was the most played mode, still with all the data, 5v5 is 3-to-1. But 3-to-1 is a pretty good ratio, considering that, like, you know, 6v6 isn't the main mode, so that's pretty good numbers. So it's good that it ends up going well, and people who enjoy the 6v6 comp and playstyle can still do that. That's nice, right? Now, obviously, we have to see what Stadium does for the game. That could change up queue times and things like that. That could be a whole different story, but a good sign. We were curious how the 2-tank limit would pan out, but most games landed on the classic 2-tank, 2 DPS, 2 support setup. Tank players in 6v6 clearly enjoy having another tank buddy. For some reason, I thought this was just being like, hey, buddy. All right, buddy. All right, pal. That's how I read that. Tank players in 6v6 clearly enjoy having another tank buddy. In their corner. And no matter what role they choose, players are loving shorter queue times. And I don't have shorter queue times for 6v6. That's why I can't play it as much. My queue times become 30 minutes because people camp on the ladder. And the ability to swap roles within a match. There's also a heightened sense of chaos that some folks just can't get enough of. Chaotic fun. Queue times across the game have remained healthy, and data from Season 16 should give us a better sense of how 5v5 role queue and 6v6 open queue can coexist in the long term. So, it sounds like they plan on that. Stay tuned for more information over the next few weeks. as we gear up for Season 16. See you on the servers. Wait, so Aaron's sign-off is let's make a great game. And Alex is see you on the servers. I love it. Well, there you go. So, good information here. Learned a lot. I think people will be happy with learning that they're going to be looking into the perks. And we're going to be, and that, Freya's getting a slight buff. And for 6v6, if you like 6v6, it's here to stay for now. Granted, it does sound like they plan on finding ways to make it work overall throughout the game. So, it's good, a good overall blog post. A lot of data, a lot of information. Outside of the May freeze thing, we'll see. But overall, it was good. So, yeah, there you go.